Late at night, the doctors and the TV crew give them a fright. The movies are cheesy and so's the host. Look out, honey, here's 13 ghosts. And Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater, Bill's the monster, eater. And Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater, Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater, ghoulies, come on.
There you are, ghoulies, and here we are once again on Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater, and we are honored and excited. We have Rick Plastina, star of the new movie Killing Poe, by the way, in the studio. How are you doing tonight, Rick?
I'm doing great, Dr. D. How are you?
I'm ecstatic. Yes, definitely erratic and ecstatic that you're here with us tonight. And I hope you didn't have to drive too far to get to the castle.
About an hour and a half.
Are you kidding me?
They let me let me go from the Chicagoland area, and nobody stopped me along the way, so that's
a good thing.
Yeah, they didn't know I was coming to see you, though.
No, that you would have probably gotten checked.
Probably, yeah.
Yes,
they probably would have stopped me.
I did see there were some squads of Homeland Security about the city today, so I don't know what that was about, but they was definitely what they were. And I don't see that too often driving around. You know, when you're driving around a hearse, you know, you kind of stand out.
Yeah, I would think so.
But being that I am a ghoulish creature of the night, a ghoul basically, and not a vampire, I can go out in the daytime.
That's good.
I don't have to break out into dance every time they play Bela Lugosi's Dead at the goth bar, you know, so that's very good. But now, you've been in several different acting roles. I'm kind of interested, it was start at the beginning. How did you get into acting in the first place?
Well, I was a business major in college, and then in my third year at the University of Illinois, I decided this is not what is fulfilling for me, so I decided to change my curriculum over to speech and theater. I tried it for a year and a half. I got some good acceptance in the roles I played in college, and I thought, okay, let me try this professionally. I worked for a year doing construction and everything else before I got a call from one of the theaters I had auditioned for a year earlier, and they called me to say, are you available to do this play with Bob Crane from Hogan's Heroes? So I auditioned for it, I got it, and that started everything.
Wow, Bob Crane, that's a pretty interesting fellow, and a sad ending there too, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had a very sad ending. A little bit more in the mood of Dr. Destruction on a bad day.
On a bad day, wow.
Yeah, he was a very nice man, very pleasant, and I went from working with him to Shirley Booth, who played Hazel on television, and Abby Dalton, and Peter Breck, and Howard Duff. Peter Breck used to be in the Big Valley, and
the Big Valley.
I did a lot of star theater back in the day, and then little by little I started doing commercials and industrial training films, and eventually TV and film, like Killing Poe.
Like Killing Poe. What sort of commercials did you do? Anything I might remember?
Yeah, the ones that got the most play were for Time Life Mysteries of the Unknown.
Oh, okay.
Kind of in keeping with your
it was a destiny already there waiting to happen.
Yeah. For 3 years, I was the national spokesman for Mysteries of the Unknown. I was the read the book guy. Whenever anybody would ask me about the books and all, that would be my line. Just read the book. And they sold 140 million books with the campaign, so it was a very successful campaign.
Well, that's just absolutely amazing. I didn't know about all that. And of course, when we were on the set of Killing Poe, as you know, there's a lot of waiting around involved.
Yes, there is.
And things get delayed, so we had time to really talk, and that was definitely a great time.
For me too.
You told me about you did an appearance on All in the Family, and I think that's quite interesting.
Yeah, All in the Family with Carol O'Connor and Gene Stapleton. It still plays. The episode was called The Return of Stephanie's Father. The little girl was named Stephanie that they took care of after Mike and Gloria had left the show. And it was an interesting experience. Carol O'Connor was very nice. Gene Stapleton was Well, Carol O'Connor was very nice.
Well, people aren't always what they seem.
Yeah, some of them have a pleasant quality, and others are a little bit more standoffish. And but it was an interesting experience. The director, a man who will go unnamed, his only way of directing everybody except Carol O'Connor and Gene Stapleton was to say, whenever you open your mouth during rehearsals, he'd say the same thing. Don't go for the Emmy, just say the line every time.
Wow.
Yeah, and which didn't exactly make you want to do, to experiment and try other things, because you got to the point where you wanted to clam up. Just the opposite of working with Nathan Jacobs, who we worked with on Killing Poe. He was as warm and friendly and set an atmosphere on the set so that you felt good and you felt like you could try everything. And Nathan, who co-wrote it with Chris Firestone, they wrote a terrific script, as you know, because you're a major part of the movie. I don't know how much your audience knows about it, but you're figured quite prominently in Killing Poe.
Yeah, it was great to be part of that, and just you know, the professionalism, the way the director worked. You know, you didn't know, and I was a little bit confused because I thought I had met Nathan, but I didn't. Huh. And Rick, was that his partner that was kind of co-directing, if you want to say?
Paul Engstrom. Paul Engstrom was his co-producer and AD or assistant director. Also a heck of a nice guy. Matter of fact, there wasn't anybody on the set that wasn't pleasant.
Oh, no. That was, I put that down on one of probably the greatest experiences of my life.
Yeah.
But Paul had come here to the castle and told me about this story. He told me the story that they wanted my character in. I don't know exactly how they found me, but and I said, well, that's great. That would be something that I would like to see.
Yeah.
And then this is I believe in like spring of 2011, and then they said, we're waiting for the funding.
Yeah.
And then I almost kind of slipped away on me when they finally got back to me in 2013 in March, and well, we did it.
Yeah, because I auditioned the first time about 2011 too, and like you say, they lost their funding, and then 2 years later they said they got it back. So I said, well, I'm still in if you want me, and they did.
I guess the rest is history.
Yeah, I play the professor who teaches a class about Edgar Allan Poe, and that's why part of the reason why it's called Killing Poe, as in Edgar Allan. And the 5 students that are in the class are all Hollywood actors who, as you know, were terrific to work with.
Yes.
All very good. And it's probably the best film that I've been involved with of anything that I've done. And I've been in the business for about 46 years.
Oh, wow.
So I never had a better time than playing Dr. Lynch in Killing Poe.
The trailer's out. It's on YouTube. I don't know if we're having trouble getting a download off the YouTube. I don't know if they're allowing that or not. I might have to ask them for a copy to use, because he wanted me to play it on the show, the trailer. But the trailer is now on YouTube, so.
Yeah, just go to Killing Poe the movie, and anybody could find it that way.
Yeah, but that's we're all very excited about that. Now, you do a lot of stage work, though, in Chicago area, or
I did. I don't do theater much anymore, but the first 8 years of my career was just theater, starting with Bob Crane and then Shirley Booth, and then I went from working at Drury Lane Theater to Shady Lane Playhouse to Pheasant Run to the Chateau Louise, and quite a number of theaters in the Chicagoland area. And it was, I basically learned how to act while I was making a living, while I was learning and earning at the same time. And then after that, I started doing the commercials and industrial films and training videos for companies.
That's the real test of an actor, being able to do theater and have that whole thing memorized. And is there any insight into that, how you managed to pull that off, or is it a natural talent?
No, I work hard at it.
Okay.
I was never a fast or easy memorizer, so whenever I would get the script, I would work on it every day, going over the lines, and then I would record it on a microcassette recorder. so that when I was shaving or driving, I'd listen to my lines with the cue just before it, and I knew I was learning it when I got to the point where I was beating the recorder, so that I could say the line before the recorder did to me.
Okay.
So it was a combination of reading it over and over again and listening to it, and then because it never came easy to me. Memorization was something I really had to work at, and still do.
Wow, that's incredible. It just seems intense. I mean, I play a band, I play music, and I memorize the music and but that other side, that would be a little bit scary. And where film, of course, then you've got time because, I mean, if we can get a couple lines out before they change the camera angle, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, but as you know, because, well, you play, like I said, a prominent role in the film, you knocked it out of the park, my friend.
Well, that means a lot coming from you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Definitely appreciating that one there. But now they're talking maybe June that they might surface a little bit.
I'm hoping, yeah, at least in the Chicagoland area, they're talking June. But I've heard rumors that they may move it back a little bit, but I guess we'll wait and see.
Well,
but people can check on the internet to find out. Okay, just look up Killing Poe the movie, and they'll find out when it's going to play in their area, hopefully.
Right, you never know. They maybe it'll hit the big time around October. That was all often spoke for as things are going, getting delayed or whatnot. But these things do take time, and there's so much involved with it that to do it right. But they are so brilliant. The whole lot of them are just. So
I call Nathan A. Jacobs, the director who co-wrote it with Chris Firestone, I call him the Renaissance man, because he can do everything. He's a writer, he's a musician, he can act, he's an artist, yeah, he does a lot of the artwork that's in the movie, and that are promos for the movie he's done. Besides being a religious educator and a professor in real life, along with his directing and producing. Yeah, so he and Chris Firestone, along with James Tillman and Paul Engstrom, yeah, they're all the producers from Emeritus Productions. They made a terrific movie. I think it could be the sleeper of 2015, which doesn't mean it's going to put you to sleep. It means it'll be a big hit once it's seen, because it'll surprise people.
Yeah, I think it really will. I have that feeling that, I know what Nathan had mentioned, it was sort of, he hopes it gets sort of a cult film status, but I see bigger things for this picture.
Oh, yeah, because it appeals not only to the generation of the kids, the college-age kids that played the leads in the movie, but also for my generation, the baby boomer generation, because it's almost like a contest between the two generations, between my character and their character. So they basically find out that I'm not the sweet child-loving professor that they want me to be. I'm a little lecherous and lascivious at times.
Just a little.
which makes him a lot of fun to play.
That looks like it was that had to be very fun to play. And of course, I didn't see a lot of the different scenes. I wish I would have gotten to meet Lana Wood.
Lana was terrific. Lana Wood, known mainly from doing a number of movies like Diamonds Are Forever with Sean Connery as James Bond. And she did a number of TV series over the years and still acts on a regular basis. Lana was delightful, funny, and lovely, lovely lady.
Right. I've got my Diamonds Are Forever Laserdisc.
Really?
That I will become if she's going to be at the premiere, I'm bringing that and a marker.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Plenty O'Toole in Diamonds Are Forever.
So she was a diamond, and of course it's Natalie Wood's sister.
Right.
She's Natalie Wood's sister. So,
right.
That's she's got that background and bringing all those things to this movie.
Yeah.
And I think people are going to be surprised about it.
Yeah, because she and the Hollywood we call them the Hollywood Fab Five, or at least that's what I started calling them.
That's pretty funny, yeah.
Because they're all from the Hollywood area now. They're all wonderful in the film. Let me see if I can remember all their names.
That's
Matt Bush,
yeah.
Osric Chow, Juliana Guil, Serena Fiallo, and Sunkrish Balo. Bala. They're wonderful in it. And then there's a lot of Chicago actors male and female, who are terrific. And then we have the Kenosha man himself, Dr. D.
And there's also two comedians, XL.
Right.
And then, of course, there's Dobie Maxwell, who was he's known around here from the Mothership Connection. I was on air with him for a couple of years. We had that show, to the point that I really got out of the paranormal, and I kind of branched off and did the radio show you were on. And I was kind of like, okay, if you want to call me and say you wrote a book on vampires, I want you on my show. If you're calling me because you say you are a vampire, call the other show, please.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, that's just, you know, different interests and whatnot there. So now you got what's up and coming, and any future projects?
I've been doing a lot of radio shows. I work regularly on a radio show called Unshackled, which is done in the Chicagoland area, and it plays all over the world. They're real-life stories that are dramatized into half-hour shows. I play on a show called Opening Arguments, where I play Satan. And that's a lot of fun to play, too, because
I imagine
Satan can be mean, angry, childish, petulant, and he's got quite a range, and seductive at the same time. I also work on a show called Kids Corner with my daughter, who's an actress.
Wow.
And she's wonderful in the show, Kimberly. And there's another show. I've done a lot of Moody Bible shows, too. So they all seem to be religious radio shows, because those are the dramas that they're doing for all of these radio shows. And each one of them is terrific to work in, although I have to say, Opening Arguments, where I get to play Satan, is probably the most fun.
That's almost something Vincent Price would, a little bit along the lines of that. Any favorite actors out there, or horror actors, since we're on?
Well, favorite actors, I was always a big fan of Kirk Douglas and Clark Gable.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I wrote a play and a screenplay about Clark Gable's life called Frankly, My Dear, A Fable About Gable. And I'm trying to get that out now to studios and to the right stars that hopefully would be interested in playing him, along with Carol Lombard, who was his wife, and Marilyn Monroe is in the screenplay and the play version also. I've worked, as far as other actors that influenced me, everybody from Burt Lancaster and Victor Mature to one of your favorites, Vincent Price.
Vincent Price, of course.
There's a lot of actors and actresses like Gene Tierney and Gene Simmons and Marilyn Monroe. I like to watch them all.
Right, the classics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And, well, I guess, got any inspiring words for actors everywhere?
If you want to do it, no one can talk you out of doing it. I studied, like I said, at the University of Illinois. I also studied a little bit when I was in Hollywood. I studied with a man that was quite good. Helen Hunt, the actress, it was her father who taught the class. She was also in the class. And it was a kind of a brush up, because I had been acting for about 7 or 8 years, and I thought, okay, I'm here in Hollywood. I suppose I should just make sure that I'm up to date on everything, and he was very good. So I enjoyed doing that. But advice for actors, mainly act wherever you can. Act in community theater.